Okay, let's get to the point. Is the Lenovo... Haven't you done this already? No, it's different. It looks the same. It's different. Will you let me explain? Thank you. What? Wait, who's this guy? Oh, that's Spooky Pain. He's from the next video. Okay, the Lenovo Legion Slim 5. Now before we get into this, I highly recommend that you watch my video on the Lenovo Legion Slim 7i. There are a lot of similarities between this laptop, especially when it comes to the I/O, so I'm only going to go over it quickly in this video to save some time. All right, inside we have a Ryzen 7 RTX 4060 and a 14.5-inch 2.8K OLED display that's absolutely stunning. We also have USB-C on the side, which you can charge on, but no Thunderbolt 4. And to reduce that footprint, we have removed the numpad as well. Same I/O on the back, this time 170 watt charger, and we still have that SD card. Opening this thing up was a little bit tricky. The screw sizes are slightly different as well, so make sure that you categorize them. But for the most part, it's pretty much the same thing as the Legion Slim 7i. I'll show you me quickly trying to pry this thing open. You do this in the top right or the top left-hand corner. It does require a little bit of force, but at the same point, you do need to be a bit careful not to break off any clips. The build quality is not the same as the Legion Slim 7i. The bottom plate is the same, but I do find that the top surface with the palm rest is all plastic. It just doesn't feel as premium, but I guess the price reflects that. Here we're putting in a second SSD, and it does come with two M.2 slots, which is welcome in a 14-inch model. This model comes with 32 gigabytes of RAM in the Ryzen 7 configuration. Strangely, if you select Ryzen 9, the 32 gigabyte option goes away, at least in Australia. Battery life has been fantastic so far. I've got about 6 to 7 hours out of it when using Windows recommended power settings. And here's just a quick shot of the stickers that come on it. I don't know how you feel about stickers. It's pretty divisive. I personally get rid of them as soon as I can, but I know a lot of people like to keep them on. Let me know in the comments below what you like to do. And now, at almost 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the video, I realized that I haven't lived up to my end of the deal. I didn't get to the point. I didn't tell you if the Legion 5 14-inch was worth your money. Well, if the title's anything to go by, then yeah, absolutely. It did everything that I wanted the Legion Slim 7i to do right out of the box. It works on quiet mode. It works on balance mode. It definitely works on performance mode. It works in hybrid. It works just with the DGPU. It just works.
I'm not kidding.
And that's what I wanted from the very beginning. Now, I can't say exactly what went wrong with the Legion Slim 7i, but I want to say thank you so much to everybody in the comments on helping me work through it. I know that quite a few of you are experiencing the same sort of problems. I know many of you weren't, and I know a lot of you question whether or not there were problems to begin with, and I certainly don't blame you for that. But what I can say is out of the box, it just works differently. The moment that I started going into games that I tested in my last video, they just worked. And the only difference when jumping down to balanced or quiet was a drop in FPS. I think that's the way it's supposed to be. Now, I edit these videos a little strangely. I record a little bit, and then I go in and I start doing the edit, like you can see behind me. And what I can also say is that when working with Premiere Pro, this laptop works brilliantly. I love the fact that it has an SD card slot, and I love the power behind it. Editing this video up until this point has been a breeze. Anyway, with all of that being said, let's go and take a look at some of the games. Now today, I'll be covering some games that I went through before, and a couple of new ones as well, just to mix it up a little bit. But I promise you that if you buy this laptop, especially if you can get it on a discount like I did, you will be very, very happy. Let's get into it. All right, we're gonna start straight away with Lies of P. Now, Lies of P caused the most problems for me with the Slim 7i. The micro stutters were definitely a lot more obvious in that title, more so than others, especially when it came to trying to pull off parries and things like that. So let's just jump straight into it. With all the games I'm testing today, we're doing DGPU only. You could use hybrid. Hybrid does totally work. It's just that you take a bit of an FPS hit there. So DGPU in Lenovo Vantage, setting it to that will give you a performance boost. We're going to be playing on the maximum resolution of 2880 by 1800. This is an OLED screen, so I will also be showing you, for this title only, what it looks like, or what I can see using my Pixel Pro 8 there. It's just going to be recording the screen. We'll jump backwards and forwards to see that as well. Very reflective screen. It's going to pick up lights and stuff. I feel like it probably is a little bit worse when you're seeing it through the Pixel Pro 8, mainly due to the angle, but also this is a HDR screen that we're looking at, and my Pixel Pro is not going to be recording in HDR for that component, but all the footage you see is recorded on OBS right now, and that will be recorded in HDR. We're always going to have DLSS turned on because it's a 4060. It's only got 8 gigabytes of VRAM, and DLSS is absolutely where this will shine. Most of the time we're going to be looking at auto, and for the purposes of this game at least, we're going to be looking at best video quality because we can do it. We can actually pull it off. So right now we're sitting on quiet mode, and you can actually see that through my other screen now. You can see that sort of dark blue circle, which indicates quiet mode, and we will eventually move up to balance. But right now, on the best quality settings, with DLSS turned on and on quiet mode, we're looking at 56 frames, and that is more than serviceable. For those of you that want to play in quiet mode, and I often will, it's great. Like it works, and this is what was supposed to happen with the Legion 7i. So I suspect that I just ended up getting unlucky there. I don't know if it was a hardware problem. I don't know if it ended up being NVIDIA drivers. I really do appreciate all of the comments. I know a lot of you are experiencing similar problems, and we're able to resolve it using a variety of different methods, which we'll cover when I'm playing another game. But right now, yeah, look, we're on quiet mode, but that's not what you're here for. So let's move up to balanced. This is balanced without AI turned on. I'm not turning on AI. I don't fully understand it. I think it just ramps the fans up and down a little bit more depending on what's going on in the scene. But truth be told, I think it's a bit of a gimmick. I know that everybody's all about AI at the moment. This feels like one of those things that doesn't really do a whole lot. You might as well just run in performance mode. And look, we're looking at a massive jump in FPS right now. We've got it set to, we've got it maxing out at 100, 109, 110 at times, depending on where you are. And while these frames are dipping in and out, I don't feel any stutters. It feels great. I'm playing on an Xbox controller. Yeah, this is the way that I would have expected it to run on the more powerful Legion 7i with the 4070 in it. But it just runs so well. Probably better than I expected, and I guess that's the magic of things like DLSS. For games that do support it, I will be using frame generation because I think it makes quite a bit of difference. I'm not brilliant at this game, by the way. I find it quite challenging actually. I've finished Elden Ring. I've finished all the Dark Souls games. I've finished Demon Souls. I finished Sekiro, but I struggle with the parrying in this game. There's just something about it. I don't know if you've played this game. If you have, let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think. Very reminiscent of Bloodborne, which I didn't play a lot of, unfortunately. And Bloodborne would have been fantastic if there was ever a 60 frames option on that, because I think it was locked at 30 on the PlayStation. So, but yeah, closest thing to sort of a Bloodborne-like experience. We're now going to finally jump up to performance, and then we're going to call it a day on this title. And it is again a great starting title because of all the problems that I had before. If this runs, I feel like almost anything will. Obviously, we have Cyberpunk coming into the equation. We'll have Baldur's Gate 3, and we'll have one little surprise game at the end that I didn't think that this would run. I thought it would be trouble. So we'll take a look at that one at the end there. Alrighty, Baldur's Gate 3. Now you'll notice a couple of things here as I'm starting this up. One, we've gotten rid of the NVIDIA overlay. First of all, the information is probably not all that useful. And second of all, if you're using NVIDIA Shadowplay to record, you can't see it. You can't see NVIDIA's own overlay. But look, Riva Tuner and Afterburner give us better stats, at least more relevant stats, and we've got those up in the top left-hand corner there for you. I personally just care about FPS, but I know many of you probably want to see those 1% lows. So look, let's get into it. I have not really had an opportunity to play this. I bought it on release. I've been way too busy, and I've never had much of an opportunity to get into it. So I'm just going to swing past all this story for you. Don't want to spoil it for those that haven't played it. This game did just drop on Xbox as well, finally yesterday. So I'm curious to see how it runs on there. Yeah. I have high hopes for this. It's a turn-based game, right? So FPS probably doesn't matter as much, but it's still nice to have something decent. Let's get straight into it. Have a look at the stats there. So video, what do we got? 16 by 10, 2880 by 1800, and we do have DLSS turned on straight from the get-go, set to performance. I'm going to change that to balanced, and I'm going to auto-detect on the quality here. So let's just quickly do an auto-detect. It thinks it can run it on high. That'll switch off DLSS, so we need to go back and hit accept again. And apart from that, I think we're good. Let's have a bit of run around. So we're on balanced mode right now. Balanced mode is looking good. 70 frames. Sphincter. Okay. Don't know if I want to go there. Let's dial this up to performance now, and we'll see what's going on. This game absolutely swept up at the Game Awards, as expected. That's just, yeah, Larian are an incredible studio. 76, 80 frames per second, all pretty good. We'll skip all this, don't want to spoil the story for you. Mash, 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 mash. This is right at the beginning of the game as well, everyone. So look, we're on quiet mode right now at 73, 74 frames per second. I mean, come on, like that's awesome, right? I can barely hear the thing. We're just going to take another quick look at the video settings there. We probably could turn DLSS off. I have a tendency of not really wanting to in this. I don't want to test every single scenario. I got this laptop thinking that I have DLSS on for everything. But I mean, we'll take a quick look, right? So DLSS is now off. It's 44 frames a second on quiet mode. We'll pop it back to balance where we like it. That's fine, right? 50 frames, turn-based RPG. Sure, I guess, but I mean, why would you? Why would you do that when you can have DLSS on? I can't really tell the difference. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. This laptop does not have G-Sync, so it's a V-Sync all the way. Hasn't been a problem. I know everyone loves G-Sync for whatever reason, but it just hasn't been a problem for me. I haven't noticed it. Haven't really noticed a whole lot of screen tearing. I would like to play this on quiet mode sitting on the couch, but one thing I'll tell you about this laptop is it absolutely burns, and by that I mean that the bottom of this thing you just cannot touch. It'll sear, burn through your legs. So I don't recommend doing that. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to get one of those like laptop risers. I know that would improve the thermals, and also means that I could whack this on the couch and potentially play it that way. So, look, 75 frames a second. I mean, if you're going to get one game with your laptop, this is the game to get. If you're into that sort of game. But yeah, no, it runs well. I expected it to do so. So let's move on to the next game. Alrighty, Grounded. I didn't show you Grounded last time, and it's a game that I have played a lot of. I have video actually, and I used Grounded to try and overcome my fear of both in-game and real spiders. And to be honest with you, it kind of worked. I spent a lot of time around these spiders. They're super realistic. There's a spider slider for those that you arachnophobes out there. Anyway, this game, performance-wise, has issues on Xbox and Series S and certainly on PC as well. Right now I'm on a zip line, and you'll notice that there are stutters effectively, but this is pretty common for this game. What I'll be curious about is what happens when I start running around while I'm not trying to load through the entire map. So this is a save. It's about 200 days in game. We've done quite a lot here. me and my buddy Brendan and my wife. And I've never been able to run this game properly on a PC. It's always struggled. So let's take a quick look now at some of these settings here, see what's going on. So maximum resolution again, quality is high. It can go to epic. We won't touch that just yet. VSync is on. Again, there is no G-Sync on this, so VSync is fine. And there isn't any DLSS, but there is AMD FSR, which does make a difference. I'm going to turn that off for a moment just to see what we're looking at FPS-wise. 51, 49. So let's get AMD back on there again, as it is the best that we have. We'll do with balanced on that one. Apply, and we'll see what that does. So that boosts it again. Look at that. 87, 88 frames. Now, this game is very noticeable if it stutters when you're running around. It sort of feels like you're running through quicksand or something, and it's not doing it. Passes the test straight away. We're on balance at the moment. We're going to boost it up to performance there, see what that does for our FPS. See if we can crack 90. There's one of those spiders. I'm not scared. I'm not afraid. A little bit afraid. I mean, yeah, what did you expect? Up it goes. There isn't such a massive difference between balanced and performance. Well, actually, this doesn't look good. Let's get out of there. Yeah, let's do quiet mode. So let's see what happens there. This is very, very late game, so I'm sorry for those that haven't played it. I'm normally conscious of that sort of stuff and not spoiling anything for you, just playing from the beginning. But yeah, I just wanted to load into this one and have a bit of a run around in a world that is fully populated with buildings and all kinds of stuff there. So that's now on quiet, 70, 60 frames. I would probably play this on quiet again, or even balanced. We will dial it up a touch. If you haven't played this game, please give it a go. It is on Game Pass, which helps. Your wallet, if you have Game Pass. A lot of conditions there. So we're on epic quality. Taking a hit there. We'll set it to auto. This is my go at building an elevator system. So now we're on balanced auto, and we're playing. We're playing on epic at 60, 70 frames per second. That's pretty cool. Makes me want to play it again. There's been quite a lot of updates for Grounded, so honestly, if you haven't played it yet, please give it a go. But yeah, look, that's Grounded. I'm super happy with that. I didn't think it was going to run as well as it is. Yeah, no, that's a good one. On to the next. Alrighty, Cyberpunk 2077, the new Crisis. Didn't run great last time, but yeah, look, this time around we're looking pretty good. We've got it on balanced fan profile there. Let's just have a look and see what's going on under the hood. 2880 by 1800, HDR is turned on. We've got VSync turned off. There is no, again, G-Sync. I keep saying it, but I just want to remind you, there is no G-Sync with this laptop. It is not a problem. No issues at all. We have it set to custom. So let's just have a quick look here. What do we got? Steam Deck. Let's do a little bit of ray tracing. We'll turn on low ray tracing. We've got DLSS super resolution, frame gen on, ray tracing on, and got to get rid of that motion blur. Don't like it. High, ultra, high, all sorts of good stuff going on there. Let's see how we run, huh? 30, 40, 52, 51. Chugging a little bit. Not where we would like it to be, I don't think. Let's see if we can push it a little bit further there. Again, we are still on balanced. So let's go get rid of that ray tracing. We'll go to high settings this time around. Double check that DLSS super resolution is turned on. Ray tracing is off. DLSS frame generation, is on. Let's see if that's done anything for our FPS. 60, 69, 70, 72. Open her up a little bit. Performance mode time. A lot of cars. That's nice, isn't it? Tiny laptop. bit of Cyberpunk on your lunch break. Very impressive. Very impressive stuff. What's going on over here? Throw a knife at him, huh? I played through all of this using a controller as well. And so now I'm giving the old mouse and keyboard a go. I think I will end up being a convert. We will see. Don't want to cause any trouble there. We've got the latest NVIDIA drivers as of this recording to deal with the 2.1 update. I would imagine that there will be some sort of performance boost there. Let's dial this down to quiet. Let's just see what happens, huh? God, it looks good. So we've got quiet on there. Same settings as it was before. And obviously we take a hit to that FPS. So we would make some tweaks. We would make some tweaks in the settings to be able to get that to go over 60 if you wanted to run this on quiet. We're going to go back up to balance now, which, as I've said many, many times, is where I like to play. And we're finding that it's climbing back up there. Now, I would muck around a fair bit with your settings on this one. I would definitely turn down quite a bit of what's going on over here. We can probably get ourselves onto medium settings here, and then let's get that. What do we got? Let's get that super resolution back on again. We'll change that to balanced. Frame gen still on. Hit apply. Yeah, no, we'll do balanced. Let's see what that's done for us. Cyberpunk, it runs on this laptop. If it can run this, it can run anything. But can it run Alan Wake 2? Let's find out. Okay, Alan Wake 2. I originally wasn't going to test this out because, truth be told, I didn't think it would run all that well. It's the latest and greatest sort of AAA game, and it absolutely melts laptops. My friend Roy has a 4090 in a Ryzen laptop, and even then he has to make some adjustments for it to be able to run effectively. Now, what you're seeing here is an average frame rate of about 40 FPS. Some of you would say not acceptable. Others would say, that's all right, I guess. I played Starfield on Xbox at 30 frames per second. But we're PC gamers at the moment, so we want to try and boost that FPS. And I'll show you exactly how we're going to do that. Now we are on balance mode. We start out on balance mode, but we are looking at the maximum display resolution here at 2880, 1800, 16 by 10, and the render resolution matches it. We do have DLSS turned on. We do have frame gen turned off. VSync is off, and it doesn't have G-Sync. So we'll see how we go there in regards to screen tearing. So yeah, DLSS on, good. Our quality, low all the way. But what we can do here is change our render resolution to ultra performance, and all of a sudden, boom, way up. 60, 70 frames per second. Now this is one of those games where if I was running OBS in the background, even if I wasn't recording, it would just tank the frame rate completely. So no OBS. This is playable, right? 80 frames per second, pretty good stats overall. Temps stay relatively cool in the grand scheme of things. We can definitely push a whole lot more out of this, but this is a 4060 running this, and that is very impressive. I was going to show you the beginning of the game. There's a little bit more going on there, but I didn't also want to spoil it for you. It is brand new, so we don't want to do that. We're going to now turn on performance mode, the big whoosh, and see what happens there. So the fans haven't quite ramped up yet, but they're making their way. They're making their way up now. Don't know whether or not that comes through in the microphone. And we're looking at bit of a boost there. Looks good. The question is, can you run this on quiet? And the answer to that
they're just cases.
Okay, sure, but you have to admit,
is yeah, you can.
this one is particularly
how long?
interesting.
I don't know. I don't think I would run this on quiet for too long. I am concerned about things like thermal throttling. Obviously, we're not in a situation right now where you know, there's lots of things going on screen. We would expect frame dips there. But I mean, look, we're looking here at, you know, at a good 70 frames per second on quiet, and that's the wonders of DLSS and frame gen and all that fantastic tech. We are going to go in now and see if we can just beef it up a touch into the quality section, and just to double check as well that we've got no ray tracing. We're not going to do any ray tracing on this one. And you know, we're still on quiet right now. We're still at 60 frames. So let's get ourselves back up to balanced where we like to be. No stutters or anything like that. No micro stutters occur when you're jumping between balanced and quiet performance. It all just runs. I can't tell a massive difference between low and medium, truth be told, on a 14.5 inch screen. But look, this is totally playable. And it's amazing what these little laptops can push out. So if you were thinking about playing Alan Wake 2, and you're wondering whether or not your laptop could run it, absolutely tweak those settings to your liking. I've played it for about an hour on balanced and using the following settings, and you can do the same. So on the low and then just set to ultra performance there, and yeah, it's been great. I feel like walking around the woods doesn't do this game justice, so I'm going to show you a little bit of the beginning of the game, which incidentally is also me walking around the woods. I don't know how YouTube feels about butts, but here's a butt. We were in a sphincter earlier in Baldur's Gate, so hopefully that doesn't do anything to, you know, demonetization or whatever it is that people worry about. Not that that's something I have to worry about. But look, yeah, this is right at the start of the game, and surprisingly, you're not playing as Alan Wake or anybody else for that matter. We've got a nice steady 94 frames on balanced as well. So that's looking really good. I will cut ahead to something with a little bit more action, and if you are not interested in seeing this, then if you're not interested in seeing this, then I strongly suggest you just jump ahead to the conclusion. A lot of jump scares in this game. Spooky game. Not as spooky as Spooky Pain, but it is up there. For those of you that are interested, my next video is on a little indie game called World of Horror. So that's where Spooky Pain from the intro will pop up for you. I wasn't a massive fan of the first game's gameplay. The story was awesome, but the gameplay was a bit repetitive for my liking, including the remastered edition. So yeah, here we go. A little bit more going on. Some spooky boys. Reminds me a little of True Detective, season 1. But yeah, look, this is running beautifully. Anyway, we're going to call it there, and we're going to jump straight to the conclusion because this is getting a bit violent. Anyway, that's it for this one. If it wasn't apparent, I recommend this laptop. You should totally buy it. Not much more to say than that, really. It's an absolute powerhouse in a small package. It just works. See you in the next video.